In this video, I put every quarterback that changed teams this offseason into a tournament. Now, for a quarterback to be considered, they had to have been a full-time starter at the start of the regular season before. Now, in terms of seeding, we used the quarterbacks overall. So the 1 seed is going to be the highest overall quarterback, and that's Kirk Cousins, who's an 84. And the 18 seed, that's going to be Drew Lock, who's a 64 overall on the Giants. Here's a look at the entire bracket. But without further ado, let's get right into it. We have Kirk and the Falcons at an 81 overall. I made sure to update it as much as possible. Had to add rookies. Of course, they're up against Drew Lock and the G-Men neighbors. At wide receiver number 1, you still have Waller. We'll see if they can slow down Kirk and that Falcons offense. Giants up first on offense. Gonna be a handoff. Singletary's gonna have to produce. They're gonna have any chance of winning this tourney. 3rd and 8, trips to the right. Play action. Lock to the top of the screen. He throws it right to AJ Terrell. Costly mistake by the 64 overall. Pick 6 on the first possession. Gonna send him to the first Falcons possession and see what they're able to do. Giants do nothing on their next drive. Not how you want to start if you're the G-Men. Kirk trying to get revenge on the Giants after losing to them in the playoffs. Bijan breaking 1 tackle, can't break the second one. Just like that, Dexter Lawrence in the zone. Remember, you got to watch out for him and Burns now. Cousins completes his first pass to Pitts. And here's a 3rd and 5. 2 tight end set for ATL. 5-man rush from the Giants. London gonna keep the chains moving. Cousins dropping back again. He's going over the middle. That's Darnell Mooney with his first reception. This time it's Bijan out the backfield, making someone miss. That's why he's so dangerous. Get that man the ball and he will make some plays in the open field. This time Cousins going down though. Brian Burns, new acquisition, and they're gonna opt to punt instead of giving Younghoe Koo a chance. Giants aren't going away that easy though. Drew Lock later on in the second quarter decides to target Terrell again. This time he connects with Slayton. They're inside the 5. 1st and goal from the 3. Falcons send a blitz. Waller gonna tie it up at 7. Falcons get ball first in half number 2 though, and they end up getting a field goal. Less than 2 minutes left in the game. It's been a defensive battle. Giants front 7 doing a great job containing Bijan, but their offense has been struggling. Lock stepping back, gonna find his running back Singletary to get the first down. But the very next play, Drew Lock showing why he's a 64 overall, throws it right into coverage. His second interception of the game is gonna be the dagger. Falcons weren't perfect on offense, but they did enough to get the W, 10-7, and they're moving on to round 2. Now we have Dangerous Wilson and the 2-seed Steelers, along with Justin Fields, who will get the start in round 2 if the Steelers win. Roman Wilson at wide receiver with Pickens, Quez, Van Jefferson, a lot of changes on that offense. Cordero Patterson as well. Their front 7 just as good as any. They're the 2 seed taking on the 17 seed Carson Wentz and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now they don't have to deal with Mahomes, but you still have Kelsey and a very talented wide receiver core to deal with. Carson has shown he's capable of being the guy before. You know, he had some nice moments on the Eagles. You still have a good defense with Jones, McDuffie. You got a night game in Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson up against the Super Bowl champions. First pass complete to Pickens. Next play, empty backfield. They're starting off passing a rock. Wilson stepping up, double team on Chris Jones, and Russ is going to fall forward for 8 yards. Multiple tight ends in the game. On this 3rd and 2, Najee up the gut. Great tackle by Tranquil. It's going to be a punt. First possession for Carson Wentz. Play number 1, escaping the pocket, getting rid of it to Isaiah Pacheco, but he loses 3. Those are the kind of plays that made Wentz special. His ability to extend the play, escape the pocket, and throw on the run. 2nd down though, he might be doing a little too much. That's also the reason why he had a fall from grace. You know, he just started holding on to the ball a little too long. 3rd and 13. Let's see if he learns from that mistake. Look at him. You just have to get rid of it at some point. He throws it downfield out of bounds. Both teams struggling early on. Next Steelers drive. They finally get the run game going. Patterson with a huge run. Next play is Najee Harris with some tough running, getting the 1st down. Now that opens up the pass for Russell Wilson. He's going to go to his tight end Freiermuth, who gets them down to the 20-yard line. And we finally get some points in the second quarter. Steelers go up 3. Chiefs end up getting on the board, and we're tied up at 3. Steelers get another field goal right before halftime. After forcing a quick 3 and out, Steelers add 3 more to the board. Right before halftime, they take a 9-3 lead. Then in half number 2, the Steelers, led by Wilson, started being surgical on offense. First, he's going to find Pickens. And then our first touchdown of the game comes from Najee Harris on the toss. Steelers go up multiple possessions. 4th down and 14 in their own territory. The Chiefs have to go for a 3-man rush, and they still get pressure on Carson. Pittsburgh wins the this one 20-3, and they're headed to round number 2. Matchup number 3, we have the 3 seed, Sam Howell and the Seattle Seahawks. Great weapons for him to work with. Team is looking pretty good. And luckily for them, they're up against a Bills team without Stephon Diggs, without Josh Allen, along with an 83 overall squad. Mitch is up first. James Cook next to him. They're going to pass it on first down. He's already taken off, thrown on the run, and it's right into the hands of the defense, Jerome Baker, with the INT. So we already get to see the Seahawks offense. Walker 6 yards on his first run. Here comes Howell off the play action. His first pass going downfield. It's to his tight end, Pharaoh Brown. They're down to the 1. It's going to be a handoff to who else but Pharaoh Brown at fullback now. And he's going to give the Seahawks the first lead of the game. Seahawks end up striking again in quarter number 2. DK Metcalf going to put them up his number 14-0. Seattle picks up where they left off in the half number 1. Howell ends up throwing another one. This time it's Noah Fant in for the touchdown, 21-0 at one point. Final score ends up 24-0. Buffalo goes home without scoring a single point. Now we have the 4 seed Kenny Pickett and the Philadelphia Eagles. 86 overall team. Looking pretty solid on both sides of the football. They have a tough matchup in round 1. A familiar face. You have Tyrod, who they lost to in week 18. He stays in New York, but now he's playing on the Jets. But also Hassan Reddick, former Philadelphia Eagle, joins Quinnen Williams and CJ Mosley on that front 7. Tyrod and the Jets already across midfield. Breece Hall getting a nice run to the outside. He's going to get them inside the 20. The Jets looking to be the first team to score in this one, and it's going to happen. Tyrod to Conklin. New York up 7. Now let's see what the Eagles do on their first drive. Saquon trying to get going, 6 yards on his first carry. Couple plays later, 3rd and 4. Philly trying to avoid a 3 and out. Mosley going to go in on a blitz, but Pickett recognizes it, gets rid of it quickly, and AJ Brown gets the first down. Play action on 3rd down. Pickett going downfield, and he connects with Devontae Parker. He's doing a great job spreading the football around. Very next play, he's going to Goddard for the first time, and the Eagles tie it up at 7. New York moves all the way down the field on their next drive. It's a 4th and goal from the 1, and they're going to go for Tyrod under center, and he's going to go down. Great sack off the edge. Reed Blankenship forces the fumble, and New York gets 0 points on this drive. Eagles going to use this momentum and get down into field goal range. Pickett to AJ Brown. It ends up leading to an Eagles touchdown. Pickett going to go to the backup tight end, CJ Uzoma, new face in Philly, and the Eagles take the lead. But New York continues to fight. They're already around the red zone, looking to tie this up at 21. Tyrod going to escape the pocket, scramble, and dive in for the touchdown. What a play by the quarterback. Big 3rd and 4 on the next Eagles possession. 2 minutes left in the game. Jets only send 4-man coverage. AJ Brown beats the press with ease, and Philly's in field goal range. So here's Jake Elliott with 11 seconds left. Gonna put the Eagles up 3. Last play from scrimmage for Tyrod. It's gonna end up incomplete. The Eagles escape with the W in what was the closest game of round 1 so far. Now the 5 seed Gardner Minshew and the Las Vegas Raiders are up next. You have, of course, Devontae at wide receiver 1. Best player on their offense, Crosby. Best player on their defense. They're a little bit top heavy. They're taking on the 14 seed, 68 overall, Zach Wilson and the Denver Broncos. They're a 79 overall as a team. So the slight underdogs heading into this one. We're almost halfway through round 1. Great time to like the video if you haven't already. Minshew on his first pass, gonna scramble around in the pocket and find his best receiver, Devontae. 23 yards on that one. Phenomenal drive by the Raiders. Now they're gonna rely on Alexander Madison up the gut, juking his way in for the touchdown. What a start for Las Vegas. However, Las Vegas is not the only team showing they can run the football. Javonte Williams getting a nice gain, tiptoeing down the sideline. Denver finally gets on the board with just over 2 minutes left in half number 1. But take a look at this beautiful pass by Minshew on the run. Scrambling to his left, he finds his tight end Bowers with the nice tiptoe catch to get them in a field goal range. And the Raiders are going to take a 10-3 lead into halftime. Raiders already back in field goal range after getting a stop on their first defensive drive. Minshew to the end zone, touchdown Jacoby Myers. Las Vegas with a 2-possession lead. Just over a minute and 20 seconds left in this one. Broncos down 17 now. Wilson gonna find Javonte in the end zone. They cut the deficit to 10, but now they need this onside kick recovery to give them any chance. Still down 2 possessions, and the Raiders are gonna recover with ease. They end up winning this division divisional battle 20-10, and Las Vegas is headed to round 2. Now we're looking at the 6th seed, Joe Flacco and the Indianapolis Colts. 82 overall squad, phenomenal offensive line, good well-rounded squad. They're taking on 68 overall Marcus Mariota and the Washington Commanders. Pretty even matchup in this one. First team to get into the other's territory is the Commanders, Mariota to Crowder. 2nd and 5, Marcus gonna do what he does best though, take off. There's no one spying him, so he's gonna be able to go all the way down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal, it's gonna be Scary Terry on the outside. Somehow he stays in bounds and gets the touchdown. Commanders up 7. Flacco on a 2nd and 7, Colts trying to get something going. He's finally gonna get a first down. Jonathan Taylor with the 10-yard reception. Flacco finding his groove. He's gonna go to Josh Downs on the next play, and they're inside the Commanders territory. Colts end up settling for a field goal, making it a 7-3 game. Next Commanders drive though, Mariota has them moving downfield. He's going to the end zone. It's Scary Terry McLaurin putting Washington up 2 possessions. However, if you know Flacco, you know he's not going out without a fight. They're already in the red zone. He's going to the end zone, and Alec Pierce is there on the reception. It's back to a 1-score game. Colts do not get that 2-point conversion, and now they need to stop on 3rd and 1. They're not going to get it. McLaurin with the catch, and for the first time in the tournament, the lower seed moves on. Washington wins this one 14-9. Now we have the 7th seed, Desmond Ridder, and the Arizona Cardinals. He's one of the new faces on this offense. Of course, Harrison Jr. at wide receiver 1, Zay Jones as well. So wide receiver core looking different. Of course, Budda Baker on defense, 79 overall. They're up against 12 seed Jimmy Garoppolo and the Los Angeles Rams. We've seen them go deep in tournaments before, or in playoffs, I should say. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this. Cardinals trying to be the first team to get points up in this one, and they do. Ridder to Zay Jones, but leave it to Puka Nacua to step up for this Rams offense. They've been struggling early on, but Jimmy G gives him a chance and he rewards them. However, they have to settle for a field goal. Rams get a quick stop on defense. Jimmy G is going to his other great wide receiver. This time is Cooper Kupp to get them down inside the 5-yard line. What a play. Rams with a chance to take the lead. Jimmy G going to the end zone. Is Tyler Higbee wide open. Los Angeles goes up 3. Arizona has a nice drive going though. Ridder dropping back. He's going to his new favorite target, Marvin Harrison Jr. And the Cardinals take the lead back. It's been a back and forth battle, and that's going to continue right here. Kyron Williams with a nice run, giving the Rams the lead once again. Cardinals going to tie it up at 17 with 30 seconds left. End of regulation. We are headed to overtime. The Rams get ball first, and it ends up being a quick 3-and-out. So now the Cardinals can win with a field goal. James Conner, first run of this drive is going to get them a nice gain. Pick up the first down. A few plays later, it's going to be Desmond Ridder passing it deep to a wide open Trey McBride. The Cardinals win on a walk-off touchdown in overtime. Valiant effort from the Rams though. Next up, we have the 8th seed, famous Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. They got some nice insurance at running back. Foreman, Naeem. Behind Ford and Chubb, of course, Judy. With Cooper and Njoku, you have one of the best O-lines in the tournament. 87 overall team. I think that might be the highest we've seen. They're up against 11 seed Mac Jones and the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a 69 overall, 70 with the morale boost. Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk, Ingram. So both quarterbacks have good support and cast on both sides of the football. This is another even matchup. Winston and the Browns get ball first. Nick Chubb off to a pretty good start. 6 yards on his first carry. They go right back to him on the next play, establishing the run game early. Picks up the first down. Jameis this time on the run, going downfield. Amari Cooper wide open. 25 yards on that one. Cleveland gonna settle for 3. Now let's see what Mac Jones and company can do. First play from scrimmage, ETN on a carry. Both teams trying to get their ground game going. It's a great idea when you don't have an elite quarterback and you have an above average to an elite running back. You might as well lean on that RB. ETN. Nice juke, making this a 3rd down and short. Myles Garrett on one side, Za'Darius on the other. They're gonna toss it to Myles Garrett's side, and ETN gets the first. Jags Trying to stay in field goal range. Mac Jones on the run. Risky pass, and he pays for it. Interception by Juan Thornhill. 4th and 2 for Cleveland inside the 10. And they're not going for the field goal. Chubb up the gut. He's going to get it. Gutsy play called by the Browns coach. 1st and goal. They have the true clock initiated. Doing a great job with time management. Jameis going to find Elijah Moore, who gets in for the touchdown. It's 10-0 Browns. Jaguars start off with the football in half number 2. Mac Jones going to complete to Evan Ingram, who stays on his feet, and he's one of the fastest tight ends in the league. So this one might be a house call. He's going to get the Jaguars on the board. What a play to start off the 3rd quarter. After a quick stop on defense, Jaguars move back down the field, and they tie this one up at 10. Big 3rd and 7 for the Browns. Empty backfield. Just over 2 minutes left. Jameis throwing a laser to Jerry Jeudy. They get the 1st down. Now it's 2nd and goal. They're going to go to Nick Chubb, and that's too easy. Cleveland takes the lead with just over a minute left. But this is why the Browns are so dangerous. They have one of the best defenders in the league, Myles Garrett, with the sack, and that's the end of the game. Valiant effort from the Jaguars, but Cleveland survives. And now the last matchup of round 1. We have 9 seed Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings. So much talent for him to work with on this offense. Lost some key names on defense though, so their best bet might be to get in a shootout. They're up against 10 seed Jacoby Brissett and the New England Patriots. He was on this team before, and now he's back in New England. Brissett in New England with the football first. Ramondre getting them a nice gain of 5. Next play, they're trying to go right back to the run, but there's Harrison Phillips with a great tackle for a loss. Brings up a 3rd down and 8. Brissett by his lonesome in the backfield. Good protection from his O-line. He's going to throw it on the run. Nice catch. They're across midfield thanks to KJ Osborne playing against his former team. The drive stalls out, however. They end up settling for a field goal, and it's no good. Wide left by Chad Ryland. This could be a quick 3 and out for the Vikings, even with this amazing field position. See what happens. Oh wow, look at Judon beating a double team, forcing Darnold to get rid of it. Great job by this Patriots defense. Now we're in quarter number 2. Patriots trying to get back in the scoring range, and Juju Smith-Schuster finds a soft spot in the defense. They're inside the 20. A few plays later, they end up scoring a touchdown. Jacoby Brissett to Hunter Henry. 7-0 New England. Patriots get another stop on defense and add to their lead. Ryland does not miss this one. The Vikings have been quiet this entire first half, but Hockenson is trying to wake them up. Beautiful corner route. He's going to get them inside the 40. And Minnesota finally gets on the board with 2 seconds left before halftime. They're still down 7. Patriots answer back with a field goal of their own right before the 4th quarter. Approaching 2 minutes left in this one. This is where Aaron Jones shines. Big run to get them inside the 5. Next play, Darnold going to the end zone. There's a man wide open, and we're all tied up at 10. Plenty of time for Jacoby and company to get into field goal range, and they're gonna do it. Juju Smith-Schuster with a huge catch. Now they can let the clock drip, and Ryland can kick the game-winning field goal. Last play of the game, Darnold just has to throw it up. He's not gonna get rid of it. Barmore with the sack, and the Patriots are gonna move on. So we have 9 teams that are moving on to round 2. We have to see which 2 are gonna battle it out for the last spot in the Elite 8. So we had to use a wheel to make it completely fair. We had the Falcons, Steelers, Seahawks, Eagles, Raiders, Commanders, Cardinals, Browns, and Patriots. But the first spin landed on the Las Vegas Raiders, and their opponent in this play-in to the Elite 8 ended up being the Cleveland Browns. This one got off to a fast start. Las Vegas ended up scoring first. Minshew to a wide open Gallup, but every time the Raiders scored, the Browns would have an answer. This time it was Jameis Winston finding Elijah Moore for a huge gain and the touchdown. But it all comes down to this 3rd down and 3. Tied up at 21. Raiders across midfield. They get inside the 40. Minshew throwing a laser to Myers. Very next play, it's a nice run up the gut by Madison. They're inside the 25 now. And Daniel Carlson's gonna kick the game-winning field goal. The Raiders hold on in this thriller. So now our Elite 8 matchups are set. We have the 1 seed Falcons taking on the lowest remaining seed, Washington Commanders. And then we followed that formula in our other 3 matchups. This one was a battle of 2 quarterbacks going against their former teams. Mariota against the Falcons, Kirk against the Commanders. But only one of them would end up having a good time. Kirk Cousins was the MVP of this one. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Dominant performance against the Commanders. Mariota wasn't terrible, but he didn't do enough to help his team win, and the Commanders end up going home. Our next next matchup, we had 2 seed Pittsburgh taking on 10 seed New England. And this time, Pittsburgh ended up starting Justin Fields. It was his turn. He's also a quarterback that changed teams, that used to be a day one starter. And he had himself a pretty good game, getting the Steelers up early with a pass to George Pickens. Meanwhile, Jacoby Brissett was facing heavy pressure from TJ Watt. He had 3 sacks in the game. And with no more timeouts, Fields has the Steelers inside the 20. Najee gonna make it a 3rd down and inches. A 1st down here ends the game. They're gonna run the ball. Patterson with the 1st down, and that's the game. So Pittsburgh's moving on to the final 4. Next, we had Sam Howell and the 3 seed Seahawks taking on the 7 seed Desmond Ridder and the Cardinals. This is a divisional battle, so you knew it was gonna be close, but it could have been a lot closer if Desmond Ridder did not turn the ball over so much. 3 interceptions to only 1 touchdown. Meanwhile, Howell threw 1 touchdown, no picks. Cardinals get a last-second touchdown, but Seattle wins this one comfortably, 20-14. Just too many turnovers to overcome. And then our last Elite 8 matchup was 4 seed Kenny Pickett and the Eagles taking on 5 seed Gardner Minshew and the Raiders. This one was another back-and-forth battle. Both quarterbacks played really well. Minshew, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Pickett, 2 touchdowns, no picks. The difference was a fumble late in the game by Kenneth Gainwell. So the Raiders take over with the lead in the Eagles' territory. No more timeouts. They need to stop, and they're not gonna get it. The Raiders, in victory formation, led by Gardner Minshew, are gonna come away with the W. So our final 4 is set. We have the 1 seed Falcons with Kirk Cousins taking on the 5 seed Raiders with Gardner Minshew. And then we have the 2 seed Steelers with Russell Wilson this time taking on his former team, the Seahawks, the 3 seed with Sam Howell. Unfortunately for Wilson, this one did not go the way he wanted to. Seahawks got out to an early lead. It was 17-0 at one point. Howell was surgical, only had 5 incompletions in the game. Wilson didn't do half bad. 1 touchdown, no picks, but Howell was just that much better. Final score ends up being 34-26 Seattle. And then all that was left was to see who they'll be playing against in the final game. The Raiders get off to their early lead, and they ended up keeping it. Devontae with 2 receiving touchdowns to help the Raiders cruise to a victory with a final score of 28-17. So here we go. Last game of the tournament. Minshew and the Raiders on an improbable run to get to this moment. First, they took care of the Broncos in round 1. Then they beat the Eagles in round 2. And finally, the Falcons in the last round. Minshew has been on a tear. And you gotta think Brock Bowers has a lot to do with it. Not to mention the way Madison is running. 1st down right there. 10 yards per carry so far. That's helping to open up the passing game. And this offensive line blocking phenomenally well. They end up going for it on 4th down and 3 instead of taking a field goal. Minshew off the play action, gonna scramble to the right, and he's not gonna get rid of it. So they turn it over on downs. Maybe the Raiders regret that decision. Now it's the Seahawks' turn. Kenneth Walker getting a few yards on his first carry. I like how both teams are trying to establish the run and sticking with it, even though it's not doing amazing. Crosby with a nice play. He's gonna force the fumble. No one's picking it up until the Raiders linebacker Robert Spillane scoops it up and takes it to the 1-yard line. What a play. So the Raiders, after going for it on 4th down in field goal range and not getting it, still have a chance to score. They're gonna get the touchdown. Harrison Bryant giving Las Vegas the lead. And now it's Daniel Carlson on the kick, trying to get Las Vegas a 10-point lead, and he does. Seattle has some work to do. They head into halftime down double digits. Unfortunately for them, it's more of the same. In the second half, 3rd and goal, toss to the right. Madison gonna fight his way in for the touchdown. 17-0 Raiders. Seahawks have to get this one or it's all but over. Howell to the bottom of the screen, and it's not complete. Raiders take over, and they're the winners of this tournament. Gardner Minshew with the Super Bowl win, the tournament win. He ends up getting his team the W in the final game. Thanks for watching to the end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please like the video if you did, subscribe for new, and I'll see you on the next one.